Yo, everybody. So we're at my house today again. I'm on the inside. I was talking yesterday from the outside. Here's the inside. And so I'm home. I'm with my family, and I hope you're with yours. Um, you know, yeah. I mean, We'll talk more about the restaurants, and we've reduced the hours more, and cut even a few more days down in each place, and trying to give people as much rest, along with people that we had to lay off. And just try to keep everybody as separate and as fresh as they can as we prepare wholesome takeout meals for you. But what I want to talk about today, I was thinking like, well, what do I have? What can I do? What can I do on my new YouTube channel? That you kindly would subscribe to, or have a friend, an enemy subscribe to, that may be watching it. You'll get back at them by making them watch this. You'll be even then. Or, maybe someone will find it somewhat amusing and or helpful, or maybe even both. But what I thought about today, and definitely on this YouTube channel thing, I was thinking in the future when we go to normalcy that I want to go visit my friends. I want to cook with them. We'll go by my mother's house. We'll make some cookies. We'll, do a Sunday supper. Just, I don't know. You tell me what you want, make dough, make that. I mean, those things those are the easy parts, I think, of cooking, recipes. Recipes are just words, I think how we learn to cook is one of the most important aspects, and how we learn anything, how we retain that, and what do we want from it? Do we want to conquer it? Do we want to own it? Do we want to, to replicate it? And I guess all those things are valid in their own way, but I think there's an opportunity for something, a deeper connection, and that connection for me was what food means to me, and what I try to do with my team and my staff, find that nugget which speaks to them. Like we all have different notes or favorite songs or whatever, something that means something to you. And I think what I was hoping to do is, on some of these segments, I want to do like not necessarily cookbook reviews of some of my favorite cookbooks and why, but I guess the why part is the most important. I think that, sometimes we'll hear best of, top 10 list, number one, and then there's a snippet about how things taste and what they had, and I think those are all good. But I think there's again, in all these things, the opportunities, things we love and things we don't love, to really dig into why we love, or why we, even in our minds, or maybe the reality is what we don't love and why. And what I found was, in my life, some people could tell me, this is awesome, and the next person says, I don't get this, or worse. And what I find is, in that kind of never-ending search to help me understand, is when I ask, instead of just be defensive about it, just like, I want to know why that they like it, and I want to know why they think it's fucking terrible, or whatever. But I found that in most cases, when you are passive in your response, and you really want to discern and understand what they mean, instead of being defensive, I've found in my 32 years in business, 57 years on earth, that people are rarely prepared for that next question. Like, it should be enough that this sucks. It should be enough that this is the best. And again, I was talking about yesterday or the day before, I don't know, it's like one long day, like life itself, with intimate blinking, blinks. But what I found was, if we really, take this time that we normally don't have, like we're home, I got a lot of time in my hands today to think. And I think about the things, the people that are in my life, how and why. Some people just your neighbor, the kid you grew up with. They're in your neighborhood, they go to your school, they're in your class. Some are friends forever. Some your acquaintances with, and they serve purpose, and you for them, and they're part of your fabric, but maybe not part of your everyday. And I think what I wanted to bring, again, in this little, I guess whatever this thing is, what we're doing is maybe if I can express some of the sometimes complicated way I see things, or simple ways that maybe there's someone out there that relates in that way. Because for me, I talked to you some before. You know, I never finished high school. I got my GED. I'm not proud of that. I'm usually the opposite, but I talk about that sometimes because, you know, I'm insatiable to learn things. I'm insatiable to want to understand. And for me, there was a part of a system maybe that was in place that for me, it didn't resonate, you know, somehow. Maybe not because the teachers weren't great, they were. Maybe it's a place I in that, you know, it wasn't there. And thank you to definitely my teachers in my life that tried to help me. And I'm sorry that maybe I wasn't ready at that time to receive the good that you had to give. But here I am before you now, telling you thank you. The other part is, it is, I think, important to look at ways that we, you know, we don't standardize the way we teach things, whether it's making a loaf of bread or you know, a bowl of pasta, or, you know, the theory of relativity or whatever. I mean, I think that we have to find, you know, hopefully your language of all, like the languages in the world. What's the word, you know, what's your light bulb that lights up that, you know, that chain in your process that helps you push forward. So without that being said, I thought that, like I said, that, you know, and we'll do a lot of, you know, on this new YouTube channel, again, drive those people there, but I thought if I could share the way I see things, it could help. And with that being said, I'm going to try to, at least one cookbook in some of these episodes that I want to talk about why I love them, and if there's a connection to it that's deeper than cool recipes. So today's book is, let's just see what it is. It is the Sullivan Street Bakery Cookbook. And I'll hold some pictures up and stuff in a minute, but I'll tell you why. I'll tell you about this book. First of all, you know, I try to look at anything from the inside out. I guess we initiate everything from the outside, but I immediately want to get as close as I can to the center of that to find out what makes good things good. And in this case, you know, Jim Leahy, one of the great bakers of our generation, along, you know, with Brother Chad Robertson, Lionel Poulin, the great late Lionel Poulin from Poulin Bakery in Paris, and many other kind of groundbreaking teachers and bakers that help us see things and were kind enough to share philosophies and theories in bread. And we learn that when we fill our life with kind of whatever spirituality that you follow, you know, it's pretty miraculous. I will tell you one thing about bread, and I put pizza in that same category. Even in that kind of metaphorical sense, another big word alert there, that resurrection of something dying, falling from the shaft, being kind of levitated and hydrated, you know, to be brought back to life to feed people, I think is a powerful, a powerful metaphor and reality, because it nourishes from the soul up. But this book in particular, and many other books that we'll talk about in the future, is its connection. Like, the recipes are amazing. Like Jim's recipe for no knead that you can find in the New York Times, and many more in Jim's books, imitated all over the world now, and thankfully so, because Jim was kind enough to share his method. But the no-knead method took a lot of complication out of things, and that you didn't need a $50,000 mixer or an expensive oven. You needed to, like I said, help me understand. Jim is one of those people that helps me understand, and I think he'll help you understand. There's a place for bread in your life. Even on a keto in moderation. Maybe it's just a lean on when you eat whatever it is. But so this book is, there's a lot of cool stuff here. I'll show you some stuff, but you're gonna go buy it now anyways. But all kinds of cool pictures. Who doesn't like those? Yada yada. Bomb bologna recipe in here is the bomb if we like donuts. But again, I think what's super cool is you go out and get this book and we could talk more about it. But Jim is someone that I love, and he's someone that I respect, and he's someone that is. I always love to study the approach of artisans in particular, and Jim's approach is definitely from an artist position. He takes an artistic approach as a sculptor, and went to Italy to study, and his hands are in clay, and they're he was connected to something miraculous, and he took all that study and then was able to transfer that into something that we could slice and toast and cut into squares and then someday write books about and share in your kitchen. So again, go get that book. Go get Jim's book. It's awesome. He's an amazing character, to say the least, and a dear friend and a good man and a great baker. So thanks for sharing this book. That's today's book review. I mean, it's all awesome, and we love them. Stuff here, there, and inside. It's got the whole package. Thank you, Jim. So, and the other thing I want to talk about, I was thinking, there's some amazing cooking videos out there, very specific, and Food 52 and great stuff on there, and just goes on and on. I'll list you a bunch of ones that inspired me for sure. But there was one website, it's on Instagram, but it's a website. She's got a new book coming out. I don't know her personally, but I follow her, and I'm inspired by her her take on these recipes, sweets and desserts and things like that, and they're amazing. But it's called Handle the Heat. I'll link it on there, but Handle the Heat, and her name is Tessa Arias, and again, I don't know her, and I think I'm just telling you about somebody that I know and I love, and I've looked at the depth of his existence, probably closer than imaginable. Man, I got this, you see his eyes and his face and his passion. It's palpable, and but here's something that just from the Instagram on a page and seeing somebody's work and how they write about it, I'm inspired, and I think both of those lead to the same place, which is helping us understand. So go to her Instagram or website, sign up for her channel. I saw she's got a book coming out. That would be super cool to see. Those are the two kind of things to talk about for today. The other thing was, we still got these, talked about the cool chocolate bars we have, that are all filled with good things, and they're on our website, and all the proceeds are going to our team, help them survive and get through this time. And the background, my kids are screaming at each other. That's Leo and Eva. They don't know why that they can't, I don't know what the hell they think they can't do, but it's normal. It's normal. We're going through that. And so anyway, in closing today, get Jim's book, go to Handle the Heat website. I can't wait to cook together and show you some parts of my world that inspire me, and also cooking together. We'll do some cooking. It's no problem. But I think if I can help you. And the last thing that I'll say is I got one theory about this, and I guess to all the architects out there in the world, and some of my architect friends, Jack DeBarlo and Rick Joy, and so many others that I've been blessed to have deep conversations about this theory. I think I mentioned it in my book, another plug. Don't need to buy it, but you can steal it or get it from the library, take all the pictures. But my theory about, understanding our own strengths and our gifts. And I look at architects, my theory is that they build the greatest sandwiches in the world. The theory being that, if you ask somebody normally for a sandwich, right? You say, you build me the best sandwich I want to see what you got. We're gonna have a contest, world's best sandwich. Well, for me, if that person, that chef, that sandwich, that architect isn't asking the right questions, how can it be the best if it's inappropriate for the end user? You know what I'm saying? Like if an architect's gonna build you a house and he says, you know what, me and my wife, my partner, my friend, myself, we want to build our dream house. And if the next question is, I got it. You come back in 6 months, you Venmo the money in my account, you might need a new architect. But if that architect says, you know, like a holistic doctor or approaches, you know, what you eat last night, what you feeling, what, you know, if that architect says, you know, how do you live and what do you need and all that kind of things that resonate with you, you're probably in the right place. And I think that theory of building a sandwich is an incredible teacher of, if you said, okay, for build a greatest sandwich, and I say, for who? And then you say, okay, it's for my 9-year-old. And you go, okay, what's your 9-year-old like? And then you find the bread that is passive enough, and then you toast it just enough so it yields, but, you know, kids aren't afraid of the char or things that you might find attractive. You know, they'd insulate it with something that's waterproof. Like it was a BLT, let's just say the 9-year-old loved BLTs. And you said, you know what, you know, he was maybe like Wonder Bread before, but I'm gonna take them from Wonder Bread to a delicious, you know, Pullman loaf from an artisan bakery. And I'm gonna slice it so it resembles that, but it's really now full with organic, you know, ingredients and good intention and good realities. And we're gonna slice that, and we're gonna toast that, and we're gonna use a great aioli or mayo that's gonna insulate it from that soupy, you know, juicy vine ripened tomato. That's gonna be my insulation, and my lettuce, my greens are gonna be clean and dry, so they can receive that next layer of intention. And then the bacon is crispy but not dry, and you know, with that perfect meat to fat ratio, and that alchemy, you know, and that understanding to build your dream house or to build a sandwich is pretty much the exact same thing. So, message for today: architects, don't sell yourself short in the kitchen, and chefs, you know what? Take a stab at building a house. And that's my word for today. We'll see you. I don't know if I'm gonna do this every day, but I'm gonna try when I got something I think of that might help. That'd be cool. So I love you, and we'll talk never soon enough. Be healthy, and love to you and your family. Cheers. Bye.